Good morning, this is Talia. I'm Kid Founders 2.0 Conference 2025 Dubai, and we have with us very gorgeous and very talented, successful Miss Katherine Tuominen. She's a founder for Culture Cure Ltd, and she has also been awarded as an excellence entrepreneur. First of all, to receive an award in a hub of CEOs who are leaders and successful entrepreneurs in their own field. How does it feel like?
Absolutely incredible. I think as a marketer, you get very used to working in your own capacity and behind a desk. And
Yes.
it's so nice to be in an environment where you're surrounded by like-minded and like-hearted individuals who are very impact-driven. And it's inspiring because it shows you what's possible in this world.
So tell us a little bit about Culture Cure.
Yes, so that's a passion project of mine that's based around educating people about post-ventilative recovery solutions for toxic workplace culture. So the short version of this is a lot of people have experienced toxic workplace culture and they don't necessarily get the support they need to recover from that. Yes, you can see a therapist. Yes, you can seek legal advice and try and counter that or make claims, but it's very tricky to actually unpack what has occurred to you and all the layers that is involved with that process.
But is it like only workplace specialized on the workplace traumas? Okay.
Yeah, so it's trauma that's happened from being in a repeated toxic workplace, and they typically say it's about 6 months of consistent, repeated abuse, whether it's verbal, emotional, being excluded. All of those can be signs of toxicity.
What made you, as you said, it's like a personal project. What made you decide to do that? And haven't heard anything specialized in it, as nowadays it's 20th century, girl, woman, man, everybody is working and everybody is facing the world outside and at home. So how and why did you come up with this idea?
Yeah, so I was really fortunate to be part of the entertainment industry, and I was there both before Me Too and after Me Too. And for those of you who may not be aware, Me Too was a movement that inspired people to speak out about abuse that they had experienced in the entertainment industry, whether that be in music or film and otherwise. And so it was very much a movement that where it may have started off as a whisper where one woman spoke to another and said, hey, this didn't feel right, or I wasn't comfortable in this situation. And before we knew it, more and more people came up and started speaking up about different forms of abuse that they had faced head on. So it really showed me the power of storytelling, and it really helps inform a lot of the marketing that we still do today.
I think no matter how much we grow, no matter how much we succeed technologically or digitally, we are still backward when it comes to all of it. As you are the one to try to make life better for the person who has been went through this trauma, how do you see after effect? Like, for example, are there like a lot of new agency or new employer will be like, we don't want to hire them? There are a lot of talks like that, and this is the biggest reason nobody comes forward. How do you deal with that?
Yes, absolutely. And I mean, a lot of businesses now, they might hire like an EAP service, or they might do an anonymous survey.
Yes,
but
yes.
Those surveys are not anonymous in the way that they may claim to be. And so there is this real deep sense of lack of psychological safety around people not feeling comfortable to speak up. And so that's why it's really important to have other communities such as ours and networks where you can go knowing you can express yourself and get the right support without that being immediately having any repercussions on your career.
But this fear, as a person who's trying to help them, but this fear will always be like with me. I'm a person, how confident, whatever. If I have unfortunate situation like that, I'll be always very iffy to come to a person, then talk about it. I'll be like, okay, fine, just heal me, make me feel better, but I don't want to go public with it. How do you deal with that difficulty? And do you see in the market that they go through the phase where nobody is hiring them back again because of this? How do you tackle with that?
Yes, that's a great question. So, I mean, the first thing is you don't have to go public if that's not something you're comfortable with. First and foremost, you have to protect your health, and not everyone's in a position to be able to bravely speak up and share, and that's completely okay. So do whatever feels right for you. But we do have people who are like, yes, let's go take a legal route and truly battle this out, be a whistleblower, share that publicly, do a PR whirlwind around it. There's no right or wrong. I would say for those people, if you are open and willing to speak up, obviously obviously that can be very impactful because you can
Very.
start a change. My advice for someone in this situation would be to strengthen numbers, right? If you can start by rallying maybe one colleague, one person who's seen it, a witness, someone else who has your side, that will give you a bit more support, because yes, they might be able to sort of give you repercussions, but if it's the whole team, if it's the whole floor, if the whole department, then it's a whole other level of a
But do you
conversation.
think that this happens too much than we ever spoke about in today's time as well?
It still happens, unfortunately. Yes, it's still an ongoing issue, and I mean, there's so many reasons for it, but it absolutely does start top down. And I do think that there's opportunities for leaders and founders to really think about what cultures they're inspiring, even in the build and with the companies that they're creating. So hopefully, we'll have more and more conscious and heart-led founders who are encouraging healthy workplace culture from the top down. And in the meantime, if you're stuck in a toxic workplace, try and encourage a bottoms-up approach where you're connecting with colleagues and just saying, hey, what can we be doing together collectively to change this a little bit?
I can sit here and talk to you all because it's very interesting, and I'm like, the work you're doing is absolutely amazing.
Thank
For a
you.
company owner who owns a company and have a lot of employees, how do you think they can make their structure stronger? Because the owner or a board of director cannot know what all is going on. How can they make their structure stronger to prevent such kind of events happening as much as possible for a company owner? How would you suggest that?
Absolutely, yes. So for a larger scale company, you really have to consider psychological safety. And so, yes, that's a bit of a buzzword, but it typically comes down to whether someone feels comfortable enough to express if there's something wrong. So whether that be they are overworked and they're starting to reach that point of burnout, or whether it be they have some family pressures or something's happened in their life that they just can't perform in the same way that they used to. There are a lot of little signs that the individuals may be struggling. And so rather than I often refer to it like a plant, rather than trying to force them into conforming to a set KPI or a goal, we need to think about, much like the plants that we love, they need to be nurtured. They have water, they have sunshine. What can we be doing from an infrastructural standpoint to encourage and bring out the best in people? And that often starts with a conversation and an open psychological safety to allow them to express how they truly feel.
Amazing. So when you talk about this, I'm sorry, I'm so much interested. Please hold on, guys. So when you were talking about companies, and what do you think are the traits that, for example, I'm the person who's a harasser. What do you think that give them that inch to go more ahead, to do it more? Why they have that audacity, I would say, sorry, to just go ahead? Because are there no consequences from the company side, or are they not well aware? What is the reason that they exceed and go beyond to do on an extreme version of it?
Absolutely. I mean, there are a lot of different reasons for this, but something we often see is like, well, this is how it is. This is how it's always been. This happened to me, and I handled it. Why can't you handle it too?
Oh, yeah.
So it's almost this perpetuation of like, in order to be part of this company, you need to
Yes.
have been through the same thing that I went through to earn your place. And I think this mentality is a little bit outdated in today's world, especially where we're seeing a lot more agility in terms of career pods. And the reality is the next generation just won't stay in a toxic workplace. They're going to pivot, they're going to freelance,
Yeah.
they're going to find another option. And so companies today, if you want to retain top quality talent, you need to be thinking about what really is well-being for them and what will encourage them to feel be part of and like they belong. And equally, what sort of older systems or mentalities are being perpetuated and encouraged within the company. And again, going back to what I said previously, that starts with a conversation. So.
And are you globally available, your services? How can people reach out to you?
Absolutely, yes. You're welcome to connect with me on LinkedIn, and we're also globally available. From a legal standpoint, there are different elements to that, whether it be you're going for a legal battle or from a PR standpoint, but our resources are global and available to everyone. So.
Amazing. It's such a pleasure talking to you. You're
Yes.
doing an amazing job. I'm
Thank
so
you.
proud of you. The way you just started, you had an idea to come forward with it, because it takes not only the person who is coming forward, they already lack the courage to have the courage for yourself and for the other person who you don't have an idea about. It takes a lot of guts. So thank you so much for your time.
Yes.
It's a pleasure to have you around.
It's an absolute pleasure. I
And
appreciate
on that note, be safe. And if there's something that bothers you, please use your voice wisely. Don't be the sheep in the herd, and it's okay, it can be uncomfortable, but be cautious, be conscious, be curious to learn more, and the life will be easier. On that note, be kind, avoid using plastic, save water. This is Talia MP signing off. Have a great day.